So I am just quickly once more I am giving the detail. This is the compiler. Any compiler, this is the phases. This is the first is source code is the input, and output is the target code. The target code would run on any machine, and right hand side the error handler, and this is a symbol table. When the source code is being read into, so it is goes to the first stage is lexical analyzer. It is the easiest part of the program, and it is nothing but a consist of finite state machine checker. Why it is finite state machine? Because the finite state machine can check whether the all variables are ASCII character is coming or not. If any variable starts with a number and then with ASCII character, then it will put into a garbage, because no variable can starts with any number 1 or 2 and then SRC or something. So lexical analysis checks whether if it is number integer is coming, then all are integers. If it's a floating point number is coming, floating point numbers. So all integers and floating point numbers, whichever it get it in source code, it creates a token. Token is, you can consider, is a big integer number, and this token and that particular number will be saved in symbol table. And in variable name, it just checks whether variable name should not start with a number, it should start with a variable name, and it should not contain also the keywords of your programming languages. So then there will be confusion. And then is there any function call, and then what are the function parameters, everything the program needs, it will put on the symbol table. Then this is the part of the lexical analyzer. Lexical analyzer is not a very sophisticated program. It is basically a number of program which detects the whether it is a variable, whether it is a number, whether a floating point number, and if it is found successfully that, then it creates a token out of it, and token the variable, it is solved which kind of variable, whether integer, whether it is which type of integer, 16-bit, 32-bit, long in case of Java, and what is the scope, everything is maintained it here. And then stage is syntax analyzer. This is the most important stage, and there we have to go the parsing. There are two types of parsing: bottom up parsing and top down parsing. Bottom up is the most common parsing, but it is still difficult to answer, and it is a top down parsing. And you remember, I first at the beginning I have told you that any programming language of worth should be deterministic context free language. You might argue, why not a regular language can be programming language? I would say yes, regular language can be a programming language, but the problem will be regular languages, because regular languages cannot detect the number of opening braces and number of closing braces. So you cannot write any function call in regular languages. So most of the daily functions, like your lift is operating, like your TCP/IP communication through HTTP protocol, it is done by all finite state machine. Your sophisticated car inside the mechanical assembly, your everything done by a finite state machine. Finite state machine is very important, but finite state machine cannot count the opening number of braces and closing number of braces. One simple tool, if it is attached to the finite state machine, then we call a deterministic push down automata. The deterministic push down automata, whenever they see opening closing braces, it push them into the stack. When the next closing braces comes is pop up, then at the whenever at the end of the tape, the stack would be empty and your input string is empty, the result should be there itself. So that is called deterministic push down automata. Example of deterministic push down automata, it is called parenthesis grammar, are all the a to the power n, b to the power n grammar. So because you can put any number of braces, matching number of braces, then that means you can call any number of function call. So whenever that is called procedural function. So our programming languages is nothing but we try to write a very intelligent way, so we can call again and again, and again. So any programming language of worth should have deterministic context free grammar. But there is one catch in it. In deterministic context free grammar, the parsing, it will take length of the symbols to the power cube. That is a huge number. If you have a 10 lines of code and if you have 1,000 lines of code, it is not linear. It is to the cube, 1,000 to the power cube. So which is not acceptable. So what we have to do, deterministic context free grammar means it is a deterministic push down automata and deterministic context free grammar. So context free grammar, we have several classes of context free grammar. One is deterministic context free grammar, non-deterministic context free grammar. Non-deterministic context free grammar, which can be solved only by non-deterministic context free machine, which cannot be done in physical world. So in deterministic context free grammar, so there are again some divisions are there, which is realizable, which is not realizable. We come into this. But if we make your deterministic context free grammar simpler, then we can solve it O to the ON, that means linear time. So our objective is whole programming languages. Say it's a Java, C, everything. All are developed with deterministic context free grammar because it can have a loops, it can have a count, it can have opening braces, closing braces. Any question, please raise. Or if you say you don't have any question you can raise. Any question? Yes? Yes? Any question? Any question, Debanjana? Nisha? Anirban? Okay. Are you getting my voice, please? Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Please response. You don't, everything you understood? Okay, so these are the lexical analysis. This is then the toughest portion is the syntax analysis. There we can go for two type of approach: top-down approach and bottom-up approach. And then this is the toughest. And then we go to the semantics. The whole this portion of this called what is the whole this portion? Can anybody tell me? Last time covered. What is this portion? What is this portion of the compiler? Please tell me once. Anyone? It is called analysis. This is called analysis portion, and this is anybody? Please? Yes? Yes?
Generating portion.
It is not generating. It is correct. You are. It is a synthesis. It is analysis. You are correct. It is a generating, but we call it as a synthesis because this analysis portion, the code is checked whether it is syntactically correct. Then the semantic analyzer try to make it, your binary code should be minimized so that we try to get the parallelism out of it so that we can make the code runs on several threads. It is not that it can be run on a monolithic computer. If you see there are some number of threads, we have multi-core machine as our mobile also. So we distribute the code. All these things are being decided here. That is called synthesis, and the register allocation, the actual binary code comes here. So this is analysis, this is synthesis. Before class test, within 1 month, we must finish the analysis portion. Analysis portion is the toughest, and synthesis portion is not that toughest as per the syllabus. Agreed? Then we go to the next phase. Next slide. So this is a simple, this is a Lexar, or in some books it's called scanner. So these are it is a number, no, it is a string. To compiler, it is basically string, and then Lexar detects it is a number. Why? Because it doesn't have any ASCII value before 4, so it is a number, and plus is a defined token. So this is also a token, this is also a token, this is operator token, this is a number, this is a number. Then the parser comes to a meaningful tree, parser tree. Then we try to can evaluate. So this is a very simple parsing of a single statement. Parsing of a single statement. Last day I have covered, so I think we can go to the next slide. Yeah, this is a lexical analyzer source code. See, this is the line while. Say while. Can you tell me while can be a token, or W is and the H is a variable? Because while is a keyword, it is a token. But I is a token. Greater than is a operator token. 0 is a token variable. Opening braces is also a token. So these are consist of tokens where the keywords is a token itself. Okay, so this variable 3, 255, these are integer constant, and these are the variables. So what does the lexical analysis scanning is the process when the streaming of the characters making up the source program from left to right. See, if you analysis the Urdu poetry, then definitely your scanner should be right to left. Okay, because all English language and programming we write it from left to right. So that is the reason here it will work from left to right. But if it is for any other, say Urdu's prose, it can be right to left. Okay, any question out of it? This is a lexical analyzer. This is nothing but a collection of finite state programs. It will detect only what are those and put it up in a symbol table. Any question, or should I go ahead? Please guide me. Any question? I will say no question then. Please make your microphone on and tell me.
Sir, what is parsing, sir?
Yeah, good question. What is
Par
parsing? What is parsing? Please, what is your name, please?
Nitish, sir.
Nitish. Parsing I have not covered. Why are you worried about parsing? This is the first stage. This is a lexical analysis. Lexical analysis, whenever you write a program, it will act as a single symbol S. If you remember, if your grammar in your automata classes, the left hand side is the first starting symbol S. Can you remember the starting symbol S? Any big program, say 10 lines or 100 lines, it will equivalent to starting symbol S. Then it is have a right hand side, we have a arrays of terminals. Okay, now what is our objective is the terminals which coming from a useful production rules or not. That is the objective. So your left hand side is a one program as starting symbol, and right hand side your program. Okay, now I put the right hand side program into the lexical analysis. I am trying to get tokens out of it. I am not doing any syntax check on it. What I am trying, whether there are some keywords, whether some operators, then I will get the keywords and the operators. I put it into the symbol table. This is called the lexical analyzer, and then we will go for parsing. Then the parsing is the toughest portion. The parsing we want to prove whatever the tokens we have, with the tokens can we generate a meaningful sentence. What is meaningful sentence? Meaningful sentence means it should be unequivocal parsing tree. So if it is a double meaning parsing tree, then we'll reject. Because in computer system it has to be deterministic. So parsing is that. The parsing is two type, top down and bottom up. Parsing can be done from left to right or right to left, but only after getting token generation. So that is called parsing, which is the toughest portion, which is the top down and bottom up portion. And parsing cannot be done on raw program. Raw program first has to be diagnosed whether it consists of how many tokens are there. Tokens can be integers, token can be strings, token can be, say in C there are some characters, in Java there is strings, in Python there are strings, Python there are no characters, Python has a keywords. So these are all these things. So it's good question. Nitish, any more question? Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please,
Sir?
please. Please.
Sir, if we pass a variable like a
Can you be
both
louder?
we have-
Can you be louder at your top voice, please?
Okay, sir. Is it audible, sir?
Yeah. What's your name, please?
Aditya, sir.
Aditya. Good. Question?
Sir, if we pass a variable like it has number or string both, then
Yeah.
how it will treated as a parser?
Oh, no. First you are confusing. Parser is not coming. First it is a lexical analysis. First you will create a token. So before
Yes, sir.
going to the parser, that has to be determined whether it is a variable, whether it is a number. So that is the lexical analyzer does this job. Now whenever it goes to the parser, parser doesn't have any confusion. Parser will see a string of terminals with the terminals and sentences and all. There will be no confusion between the keywords and the terminals. All are terminals. There will be no confusion of variables like integer, floating point, operators, keywords. So everything is 100% detected by lexical analyzer. Then it goes to the parser. Now parser will check whether for parser it is the starting symbol is S. Then parser will say it has the number of rules, say 10 rules. With applying those 10 rules, can the parser, the start symbol, generate this sentence? Actually, from source language, after lexical analysis, you will get a sentence, but that sentence is meaningful or might not be meaningful. It would be checked by meaningful if we can generate that sentence through a parser tree. But yes, there is another catch. Maybe our parser tree may be different. We can generate the sentence in two different parser tree or more than this. Then we call a equivocal. Then we call is a double meaning. Then we discard this. So any programming language, in poetry it is allowed. In poetry you can have a double meaning sentence, and that might be good. That might sound good. But in programming that is not acceptable. So am I clear to you? Am I clear to you? Or otherwise you ask the question.
Yes, sir.
Any question? Yes. Question please. Yeah. Any question please? Any question? Nidhi, question? Anyone? Debolina is there? Otherwise say no question. Otherwise I will not do. Yeah. Yes. If you say we don't have question, then only I can move.
No question, sir.
No question. Good. Anirban. But Anirban, please raise one or two questions so that whether you are understanding or not. Okay. So great.
Okay.
Okay. This is your what is this basically? It is simple a finite state machine, and this is the possible characters, and this is just detect. What is detect? It is a number or not? It should start with a number. If it is carries a number, then it's integer. If there is not digit, so it will deject. So this is a simple machine which can detect. This is basically a machine written in a programming languages. Again, it can be written in language which can detect the whatever is coming, whether it is a number or not number. This it is finite automata. This is it. Any question on this slide? Any question on this slide, please? Should I go ahead? Any question?
No question.
Anirban, thank you. So this is a particular program that is called Lex. The Lex is a program which is available on your Python. This is your home task. So you can run Lex. It is available on Unix. You can create a Lex programmer, which is the input you give the symbols, automatically the tokens would be generated. Lex is a simple program does this. In fact, all compilers, C compiler, GCC, they are using some tools. They are not written completely by a programmer. Basically, they consist of a program which is the output of this program. So these are the tools so that you can write your compiler. Okay, this is a Lexa. This is called lexical tokens. You can, I have already told, these are the variables, these are the tokens. But if you see the if, void, return, it is the keywords, so it will also be token. And next slide, these are not tokens. I have already told. Comment lines, preprocessor directives, preprocessor token. It is not token. Agree? This is not token or earlier a token. So who can generate, who can say it is token or not? Whenever you run a program in a compiler mode, say GCC, there is always called preprocessor. The preprocessor takes out this comment. Okay. So this does not go to the lexical analysis stage. Lexical analysis stage, it will be get rid of. So tokens would not be generated on it. Okay, this is the pre-processor directives. I think you should not have any questions, or if you have any question, you can please raise. Should I go ahead? Should I go ahead? Please. Somebody.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. This is all a typical finite state machine which can detect a number, ID, whether it's a real number, whether white space. These are typical a finite state machine. So it is very simple. Finite state simple is enough to create the tokens. You might say, why not I use the push-down automata? No use for it. So you should not use more powerful machine to solve a less problem. So that is the reason it should not be used. Okay, I think it is clear. Let's go to the next stage. Yeah, this is, I am coming back to the again. Then the symbol table comes. Symbol tables is all the data structures whichever after the successful preprocessor taking out of the preprocessor directives, lexical analyzer, output of the lexical analyzer is nothing but filled up symbol table. If there is no such, then the syntax checker will be there. Syntax analyzer will check whether you have given semicolons and not this, whether useful thing. These are generated by syntax channel. Then the semantics channel. This is on the vital stage. The symbol table will be filled it up after lexical analysis. What are there in the symbol tables? Yeah, I am coming to this. These are the first stage: lexical analysis, syntax analysis, semantics. This is your first class stage. This is the toughest portion, syntax analysis, and this is called analysis. Analysis of compiler. Very interesting stage is analysis. This is the lex. Lex is the lexical analyzer. I am giving these books. I will give it to you. And this is the parsing, the toughest portion. Then the semantic action, semantic analysis. This is questions comes, but not much. The most vital part is one question will come in lexical analysis, like symbol table and how to create symbol table, how finite state machines are useful there, and what is the parsing, whether it is a bottom-up parsing or top-down parsing, and there are typical types of grammars, and how to different types of parsing techniques. That is takes up the course more or less 50 to 60%. Any question you can raise. These are the next stages. This looks very big. Ultimate is the code emission. How to manipulate your code. The more better compiler, it can detect the insider's loop and it can detect data flow analysis. It does all the intelligent job into this. It can sense, it can rewrite your program. So even you are weak in programming, they get the intention of your program. They try to get the parallelism out of it and put into a more better code, and the optimization and all these things is being done. Yes, this is after lexical analysis. This is the input. The symbol table will be filled it up. The symbol table is the core of the things. Symbol table contains again its variable names. If it is initial value, what is the scope of the variable? How the variable it can be seen at which stage, and then it comes. If it's even the function names also there, parameters name also there. So this is the symbol table. It would be used at every phases of the compiler. After compiling is done, it is deleted. Okay. After this code is generated, it is deleted. Yes, the same thing. This is the symbol table. This is from another book, so you can call this this is a front end or analysis, and this is a synthesis. This don't bother. Parser after parser will go. Source code, lexical analysis, syntax analysis, parsing, front end, and back end is all synthesis, create the generation of the code. last day I have already covered compiler versus interpreter. More or less we are going for interpreter way. So I think you should not have any question. Any question you can tell in the rest of the class. This I am getting in one very good book. Same thing, written in different way. This book is, I will give it to you. This book is whole PDF version is available. Yeah, this is very interesting task. I think determining the structure of tokens. This is the lexical analysis. Syntax. This is the toughest part. This is the top down. We all use in our programming languages is the bottom up parsing. Top down easier to learn, but we first learn top down. Then you might question why not context sensitive grammar. Context sensitive grammar can be solved. You know the Turing machine. So you say we have enough Turing machine. Why not context sensitive grammar? But for real world, if you write the program, maybe one or two context sensitive part will be there. The most grammar is generally context free grammar, and not only context free grammar is a deterministic context free grammar. It cannot be non-deterministic context free grammar, because deterministic context free grammar can be uniquely solved by deterministic context free machine, PDA machine. That is the reason you go to the market, any chip, there is the stack associated with that. Not only that is the one stack, a real stack, and whenever you run several virtual machine, there will be several stack. That is a simulated stack on memory. So stack is a must. So deterministic PD is a must. So that is the reason context free grammar is a must. Okay, this is the two approach, top down and bottom up. I will come. This is a very interesting thing. Can anybody tell me this is a regular language and subset of this language? Can anybody tell me what is the proper subset of the regular language? Anyone? Proper subset of regular language, please. It's a quiz. Proper subset of regular language. Anyone please try, otherwise say we don't know. Hello? Proper subset, anyone? What is the proper subset of regular languages? Anyone? Nidhi? Are you listening, please? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what is the proper subset? Say if you go to your classroom, make switch on and off. So it is a combinatorial circuit. That is the combinatorial circuit is a proper subset of regular language. Are you getting? Whenever we have combinatorial circuit with a sequential circuit, we get regular language. So these can be solved when, and regular languages, the grammar is left hand side one symbol, right hand side more than two symbol. Maybe right side will be a verbal and there must not be a terminal on the left side. That is a right linear and left linear grammar. But we need a context free grammar. So left hand side again a variable, right hand side any string, then it will call a context free grammar. If we deterministic context free grammar means a to the power n, b to the power n, we can with a push down automata we can configure. So all programming languages are coming from this. But whenever we speak, we are talking from this. So that is the reason NLP, natural language processing, is a very tough word, because our programming language's power is this, and now we try to understand this area. Okay. So with this, I want to end today's talk, but you